Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon to you and welcome to Benab Midday News, coming to you live from Benab House, Atomic Junction, Medina. My name is Sharifa Tuayuba. Coming up in this afternoon's bulletin. A 34-year-old legal practitioner, Divine Ifa Date, has been hauled before court over his alleged role in a fraudulent excavator deal. And in business, the Bank of Ghana has revealed that its international reserves could cross $13 billion by the end of 2025. And on the international front, U.S. President Donald Trump announced that American forces had carried out as a powerful and deadly strike against Islamic State militants in Nigeria. This and many more coming up shortly. Thank you for staying with us. Remember, we are streaming live on Facebook at Vena TV. Now the news in details. A 34-year-old legal practitioner, Divine Ifa Date, has been hauled back before an Accra Circuit Court over his alleged role in a fraudulent excavator deal that cost the businessman 800,000 Ghana cedis. Ifa Date is accused of aiding two other suspects to deceive a prospective buyer into paying 800,000 Ghana cedis as part payment for an excavator that was never lawfully owned by the sellers. He has denied the charges of abetment of defrauding by false pretense and was granted police inquiry bail following an application made by his father, retired naval officer Captain Nkrabia Ifa Date.
Two other accused persons, Mauli Awazi Amenyon, a 49-year-old carpenter, and Diantao, a warehouse manager, were also arraigned. Amenyon, who was pleaded not guilty to conspiracy and defrauding by false pretenses, was granted bail in the sum of 400,000 Ghana cedis with two sureties, one to be justified. Diantao, charged with abetment, was admitted to police inquiry bail. A fourth suspect, Rishan Mahanta, is currently on the run and faces an additional charge of forgery. Presiding Judge Evelyn Asamoah adjourned the matter to January 23, 2026. Presenting the facts, Detective Chief Inspector Abel Amenie said the complainant, Kofi Boatin, a businessman from Asankragwa in the Western region, was seeking to acquire an excavator for commercial rental. In September 2025, a third party linked Boatin to Amenyon, who later introduced him to Mahanta, claiming he was an excavator importer based in Accra. According to prosecution, Boatin traveled to Accra on October 1, 2025, with associates to inspect the equipment. They were taken to the premises of Kitech Delta Limited, where Mahanta allegedly passed off several excavators as his property. Diantao was said to have released a key to enable Boatin to test one of the machines, despite access to the area being restricted. Amenyon was arrested on October 7, 2025, and allegedly admitted his involvement, claiming the money was handed over to Ifa Date. Investigations are ongoing as police continue effort to locate Mahanta.
Moving on, the minority leader Alexander Afenyomarkin has challenged members of the New Patriotic Party to shift from lamentation to decisive action as the party rebuilds following its defeat in the 2024 general elections. In a Christmas message shared with party supporters on December 25, 2025, Mr. Afenyomarkin said the period for sympathy has passed and that the party must now demonstrate seriousness, discipline and unity in preparing for the future.
He stressed that the election laws exposed critical lessons, particularly the central role of unity in achieving electoral success, and urged the party members to allow that lesson to guide their conduct going forward. According to the minority leader, the NPP is at a defining moment, and how its members conduct themselves in the coming period will determine the party's future strength and credibility, both internally and in the eyes of the Ghanaian public. He also referenced persistent public doubt about the party's preparedness to govern, urging members to respond not with rhetoric but with responsible behavior. Touching on the party's forthcoming flag-bearer primaries, he appealed to supporters to safeguard the NPP's values and heritage, warning against actions that could undermine its foundations.
In just a little over a year since our great party experienced one of its most painful and devastating electoral defeats, it was a moment that tested our resolve, shook our confidence, and weighed heavily on our collective spirit. After tragedy, there is a time for sympathy and condolence, and our party did well to mourn, to listen, and to reflect. The sacrifices made, the effort expended, and the lessons learned will not be forgotten. But my dear patriots, the time for sympathy has passed. The time for action has now arrived. As a party, we have learned, or should have learned, an important lesson. Unity.
Now moving on to business, the Bank of Ghana has revealed that its international reserves could cross $13 billion by the end of 2025. According to the central bank, this projection is based on tentative data as of mid-December 2025.
By the Bank of Ghana following concerns raised by the International Monetary Fund about its exposure to the gold board and the domestic gold purchase program. The Bank of Ghana argued that the development should boost investor and donor confidence in the economy. Data from the Bank of Ghana's November economic and financial data showed that as of the end of October 2025, the country's internal reserves stood at $11.4 billion, up from $7.4 billion in October 2024. Market analysts have attributed the strong growth in BOG's reserve to the central bank's reserve accumulation program and the domestic gold purchase program. Experts believe that news of the record reserves could positively influence market sentiment and strengthen the Ghana cedi, as the Bank of Ghana is now in a strong position to support the currency and meet business dollar demands. This year, the Bank of Ghana auctioned approximately $10 billion to cover obligations to independent power producers, bondholders, dividend payments, and other essential commitments. Despite these outflows, the central bank's reserve build-up program remained intact, positioning Ghana to end 2025 with record-high international reserve.
And in some news beyond our borders, U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday announced that American forces had carried out what he described as, quote, powerful and deadly, unquote, strike against Islamic State militants in Nigeria following weeks of sharp criticism of the Nigerian government over the persecution of Christians.
Governor's evening post on his social media platform, Trump offered no operational details and did not specify the scale of damage inflicted or the number of militants targeted in the operation. A U.S. Defense Department official, speaking on condition of anonymity because the information has not been publicly disclosed, confirmed that the strike were conducted in condition with Nigerian authorities. According to the official, the operation was approved by Nigerian government, underscoring ongoing security cooperation between Washington and Abuja in the fight against extremist groups operating in West Africa. Islamic State-affiliated factions have been active in the part of northern and northeastern Nigeria, where insecurity linked to insurgency and sectarian violence has persisted for years.
Now finally in sports, Egypt and South Africa both opened their Group B campaigns at the Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2025 with 2-1 victories, defeating Zimbabwe and Angola respectively. The two sides met at the Grand Stade d'Agadir on 26th December with kick-off scheduled for 4 p.m. GMT. This will be their fourth meeting at AFCON finals, having previously clashed in 1996, 1998 and 2019.
Of their previous AFCON meetings, Egypt have 2 wins and South Africa 1 victory. Their last AFCON meeting in 2019 saw South Africa eliminate host Egypt in Cairo with a 1-0 win in the round of 16. Thembinkosi Lodge scoring the game winner for Bafana Bafana in the 85th minute. Egypt's coach Hossam Hassan featured in the 1998 final when they defeated South Africa 2-0 in Burkina Faso. South Africa coach Hugo Broos led Cameroon to the AFCON title in 2017, defeating Egypt in a final 2-1 in Libreville.
And that's it for our news bulletin. My name is Sherifatu Aiba. Have a good afternoon.